we're going to take a look at this variable result and perform a few operations on it, understand what's in there and how to pull it out. First of all, let me save that. So what it contains is information about the information it actually found. So instead of just having echo we've found some values, I'm going to sort of check exactly what was there. And we're going to use a couple of different functions. Now, you probably won't use these in your code. This is just for demonstration purposes, just to show you what's in this result and how to use it. So if, and I'm going to use another MySQLi command, and the one that I want is the number of rows, okay, that are returned in result. So result will tell you how many rows from the database that it has returned. So I'm saying if the number of rows is more than 0, so if it has some rows, then let's do something. Let's just print out a message or something to show that we've actually done that. First thing I'm going to do is get the number of rows. So I'm going to have a variable called rows equals, and I'm going to use exactly the same command that I've done here. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and paste it here. So I've checked to see if there are any, if it's more than 0. If there is, I'm going to find out how many there are. And then I'm going to write a message out to the screen, so just so you can see what's going on. So echo returns. That's the best way of spelling returns. Please make sure you make spelling mistakes, otherwise you're not a programmer. And join that to my variable rows, so it returns so many rows, and just finish it off with a word to help us. There we go, rows, and finish the statement. So the idea of this is the first thing it does is check, are there any rows in result? Okay, and if there are, if there's more than nothing, then find out how many, store it in rows, and then we're going to write it out to the screen. We're also going to have a little else in here as well, just to play around. And this else is going to contain another print statement, echo query executed but did not return any data. Now the reason I put this in is that before, if we checked if it was empty, if it didn't contain any data, if there wasn't any data returned, it's not actually empty. It's just got 0 rows, and so something is amiss would never have been executed. Something is amiss is only executed if, for example, we were trying to get the data from the wrong place. But if we were trying to get the data from the right place and there weren't any rows, then this is the one that will execute. So we'll have a look at that in a second. Let's first save it and then run it. Let's save. Let's go back to here. There you go. Undefined variable row. Here we go. What line is that on? 21. Oh, now I can't see that. Yes, I can. It's rows. Let's run it again. There we go. It returns 4 rows, and we know from our database when we ran it that there were exactly 4 rows. We didn't put any where clause in, so we're fetching back everything that is in the database, and there's 4 rows. So that sort of confirms what we've got. Let's say that we we did this in PHP MyAdmin. If I do this where age is greater than 90, now we know we've got nobody who's older than 90 in our database, and if I save that and then rerun the query, we get this connected successfully, the query executed but didn't return any data. We did not get something is amiss. Okay, so that is proving to us that even though there was no data, it just returned an empty set, and the empty set is actually something, so it would never have it's not empty. It's only empty if we couldn't execute it at all by changing or making a mistake by calling the wrong field. But where there is data and it returns the empty set, that means there is something. So when we count it, or when we find out how many rows there are, actually there are 0 rows because there's not been a problem, and we end up executing this line. So that's a brief explanation of how that is working on result. Next thing we need to do is actually pull that data out of result so that we can play around with it.